Welcome back to Barefaced and Becoming. I am so happy to have you back. Welcome to episode 2. Today I am doing no video because apparently I need a new battery for my camera. But if you were to see me, my best friend got me a jacket that is so cute with the artwork of Barefaced and Becoming on it. And my brother got me little mugs for me to use on these episodes, and it just feels so great and amazing to feel so loved and supported throughout this. So thank you to both of you. I love you guys so much. Today we're gonna kind of jump off the deep end. We're really gonna talk about some deep stuff today. I'm kind of glad that the camera is off today because I definitely need notes for this episode. Let's just get right into it. So over the past couple of years, I kind of created these experiments with myself, each year letting go of something. I didn't start this so intentionally that I was gonna be doing something every single year. It just started with one, and then year after year, it just kind of had this curiosity that stayed with me. So I'm going to give you a quick timeline of what we're going to be going over today. So the first year was in 2022, and I did a year without social media. The second year was 2023. I did a year without alcohol. 2024, no smoking. And then this past year, 2025, no sugar. I will start by saying, ironically, the one that I didn't succeed was no sugar, which is insane, but we'll go through it and we'll kind of dissect all of this. Let's start from the beginning, 2022. No social media. I believe I started doing no social media like a weekend and then a month. And then I think I did 2 months. And so it was very gradual when I first started. And like I said, I think all of these were really out of curiosity. Trigger warning, I will be talking about substance use in this episode. So I'm going to be doing it in a really reflective way. But if that's something that's triggering for you, just, take care of yourself, listen with care, take what resonates with you. This is just me speaking from my personal experience. So, okay, social media. It was really, I'm 26. So I didn't get social media. I think Instagram came out when I was in maybe like 8th or 7th or 8th grade. So I grew up without it as a child, which is crazy to think about because my generation is probably the last generation to be growing up without social media. Very grateful for that. When it came out, it was absolutely nothing like it is today. It was just something to share, something to be silly on. And obviously, the more popular it got, the more famous people got on, the more marketing got on, companies, and just such influx of energies and people. And this was obviously after COVID. And I think COVID for me personally and maybe this needs to be a whole other episode, but COVID really started to make me question a lot of things and just self-reflect a lot. I had a lot of time in solitude. I think that's when I kind of started getting off of it and using it less and things like that. Because that was when, I had moved back in with my parents for 2021. And I think just like little by little, I started to, like I said, take a couple days off, weekends, weeks, and then it turns into months. And I think the max that I did was 2 months. And then I decided, you know what? Like I said from the last episode, I had done social media for so long and haven't really had success with it. So I'm like, I could take the year off. I can get a bunch of backed up content and just like, what's a year gonna do? It's gonna be fine. I think the biggest thing that I could say was that I would get overstimulated with social media. Obvious external validation and comparison was a big thing for me. Big thing compared to people in my life, people not in my life, famous people and how their lives are and what they have. And, it would be this weird relationship where you would follow people for so many years that you've never even met that probably don't even know you exist. I don't know. It was just such a weird concept, and I just knew I needed a separation from it. If I could give anyone anything from this episode, this was the biggest takeaway. It was so great. I realize now that I have it back, I've had it back now 3 years, the patterns that I still have from social media, but I'm able to be aware of it. So my biggest takeaways from doing no social media was I really wanted to deepen my relationships. I had a craving for more personal relationships with the people in my life. I found myself wanting to update my friends more because I couldn't see their stories. They couldn't see my stories. So I would call my friends more. I wanted my friends to call me more. I wanted to, update them on a personal level. And it was so beautiful. And that was something now, even now that I'm back on social media, it's a weird separation mention posting all your stuff on the internet, because then people close to you feel close to you without having to talk to you. It's a very weird thing. Obviously, my communication there, I've had to work on it to voice that to my friends, trying to check on them even though we have each other on social media. So that was a huge factor for me. The only mindless scrolling stuff I had that year, I would say, was Pinterest and YouTube. I never took YouTube off, and unfortunately for me, YouTube Shorts was already out. So I would find myself scrolling on that sometimes. And shopping, this really brought out my shopping addiction. At the time, I was working at a place that when it wasn't busy, I could get away with just kind of doing as I please. My scrolling turned into scrolling on Revolve or Amazon. So it was just interesting to be aware of what I replaced with it. It was so refreshing not to know about every single thing that's going on, and just like your energy is consumed with like things that are in your day or what you're choosing to fill your day with. I read so much this year. I had never read that much in my life, and I want to get back to that. Yeah, I was reading every single day. I was reading when I was eating my meals. I was reading before I was going to sleep. I was reading at work. I read so many books that year. It was really great for my mental health. It deepened my relationship with my family, with my friends. This is one that I definitely recommend to anyone. You know, it's nice not to compare myself as much. I definitely think taking this year off, like now looking back on it, this is crazy because I've never really fully talked about any of these things. You know, my friends know about these little experiments that I've done over the years, but really going deep into it, this is the first time I've really sat down with it. And I could definitely say that I think that doing this no social media in 2022, I definitely feel that I compare myself less now looking back on it. I still try to do like a weekend without, or maybe I just do weekends and no weekdays. Like I kind of experiment still with it, but not so extreme. I try to have some balance with it. And I do notice myself still addicted. Definitely when I am sitting in uncomfortable feelings, if I just fought with a friend or something happened at work or whatever, any type of like emotional turbulence, I find myself looking to social media to cope and regulate my emotions, or like just, I guess that's not really emotional regulation. That's more of a distraction. So I definitely find myself doing that still. And I try to be aware of it when I can, and, you know, tell myself like, look at the time, like, okay, only 10 minutes. And I am obviously not perfect. Like goes without saying, but I still find myself like, okay, I give myself like a 10-minute and I'm like 40 minutes. I think after 40 minutes, that's when I really start, because it's crazy. Social media is so crazy because when you're on it, sometimes it could feel productive. Sometimes you could feel lighthearted, or I find stuff about Jesus and I'm learning, like, so it feels productive. It can feel light, but then I feel like always when I get off, I just kind of feel like lost or depressed, or I wasted time. I feel bad about myself. So I try to be aware of that. I try to have my boundaries around social media and use it really consciously. I try to look at social media as if it's an asset for my job. You know, I'm still reframing that now, but yeah, that was my year without social media. So it was no Instagram, no Snapchat, no TikTok. It was just Pinterest and YouTube. Pinterest was amazing for that. It kind of satiated the scrolling, but there's no really comments on Pinterest. There's not so much like controversial. It's very lighthearted. You're kind of making mood boards, makes you feel more creative. Yeah, Pinterest is a huge little cheat code for that. Yeah, I think that kind of finalizes for no social media. Okay, so year number 2, 2023. This was my year of no alcohol. Obviously, this is so different for everyone. What this taught me was that I don't like alcohol. I was very much so a social drinker. I don't know. I had a weird relationship with alcohol where it was like, oh, like I'm young. And so this is like my time to drink. Like I should, like everybody's doing it, but like I didn't really actually care for it. If I was in social setting and everybody else was drinking, like I'm like, okay, well, we're drinking, you know, we're all drinking. Like, let's do it. I wouldn't really question it. So this one was more about me being confident in my own skin, you know, in social settings and around other people, and also being present, as well as just boundaries. If I don't like alcohol because I just don't really, it doesn't resonate with me, why do it just because I'm with other people that are doing it? Surprisingly, this one wasn't so difficult for me. Also, to preface, I did also I think, start with like little by little. I think I started like a month, and then I tried 2 months, and then I tried 3 months, and I was like, damn, it's already been 3 months. Like, let's try a year. It was something that I was experiencing. I didn't go full force with really, I don't think, any of these, besides maybe the sugar, actually. So it wasn't something that I was like so scared of doing. And yeah, it was mostly more and the most uncomfortable when I was in social settings because, everyone's taking shots, everyone's cheersing each other. I don't know. But then for me, it was just like the first initial 30 minutes to an hour of the like social interaction that would be the most uncomfortable, because if someone would offer, you would tell them no, or if they were taking shots. But like once people get more drunk, you kind of stay with the energy of the group. So it's not so uncomfortable. And then people get just so silly and stupid that it's like funny. The only thing I would say with this is like if I was really tired, then it would not be as fun, obviously, because I'm like, oh, everybody's so stupid and you're exhausted. There's two things I want to say on this one. I actually did notice that you would think everyone would be like, oh, like this girl, what a loser. Everybody respected it. Everybody respected it. I didn't have any bad feedback on this at all. Not that it mattered and not that that's what I was doing it for, but it was just really interesting to see that. And also, this kind of created a weird thing with me and my friends because they would think like, oh, she's not drinking. Why would we invite her out? And so this one kind of also helped to deepen my relationship with my friends because I had to reach out to them and tell them, hey, listen, just because I'm not drinking doesn't mean I don't want to be invited. Like I feel, left out. Even if I don't feel like going and I'm gonna say no, I at least want to be invited. So I had to talk to them about that like maybe 7 months in. Yeah, this one, the intentions were self-comfort and better sense of my social identity. Recently this year, I got diagnosed with PMDD, which pretty much is just PMS on steroids. This made me realize with alcohol that I just don't get along with alcohol. It affects my body way too much. I feel like I got hit by a truck. I don't like feeling like I wasted the day. It just makes me feel depressed personally, like the next day. Trying no alcohol kind of taught me that I didn't really like alcohol to begin with. Very interesting. So now year 3, which was 2024, I did no smoking. This one for me, personally, it was weed that I was smoking. This one for me was actually more difficult than no alcohol because smoking I would only do by myself. So I noticed it felt like the year it was taking longer to go by. I would think about it more just because I only did it alone, right? The alcohol, I would only do it with other people. How often is that? Like maybe once, twice a month. Like I don't really go out that much anyways. So the smoking felt much longer. Also, to preface this, I was never a heavy smoker. It wasn't an everyday thing for me. It never was. It was more like maybe with my close friends or just like at home alone. So this one really taught me that I was relying on smoking for my creativity and just kind of like insight. I feel like I would smoke when I wanted to be reflective. And these are both kind of just states that I want to be able to access without outside factors. But I did not realize that until I took it out. Yeah, I would say that this one was really important for my nervous system regulation. I think any substance is going to affect how you emotionally regulate. So, even though it wasn't something that was in my routine or a daily habit or anything like that, it was something that I guess you could say dependent on for accessing that creativity, accessing this self-reflection, accessing like I would purge my house, things like that. I feel like I kind of started smoking when COVID hit because obviously we were super alone. My COVID was it was just me and my boyfriend together at our apartment in Orlando, and that's when I kind of started smoking more. And it was also something that during that time was when I really started, I kickstarted like journaling. I started doing yoga. I started meditating. I started like reading the Bible. I just got really interested in wanting to better myself and my life and reading and all of these things. So I think there's a part of me that didn't realize that I tied smoking to that maybe. And I don't know, just being able to separate that. Yeah, like I said, not needing anything outside myself to tap into things that I already have access to no matter what. I think it's just really important to be able to emotionally regulate. And yeah, I think this one is obviously very different for everybody. It wasn't super difficult for me, but I just noticed myself thinking about it more. It was something that I hadn't realized up until that point, that, oh, okay, maybe I did have, some type of attachment to it. It was productive for me to have this new perception of the relationship that I had with it. So yeah. And then last but not least, 2025. So I would say after these first 3 years, it was kind of just like, okay, well, this is like a thing now. Like, I gotta, what can I do next? It was never something that I was like, oh, this is bad and I have to get it. It was never a toxic thing. It was genuinely just me being curious. What am I outside of these things? And yeah, the intentions were just like kind of emotional regulation, self-focus, and testing my reliance on anything external to regulate my internal world. It wasn't about restriction. It was really, really just about awareness. I would say my top 2 addictions in life are shopping and sugar. The 2 S's. I have done months without shopping. I've kind of dabbled in okay, I'm not going to shop for a month. I'm not going to shop for 3 months. And it was no online shopping, or only in necessities and things like that. A year is crazy. Maybe in another year I could do it. Or just do a year of only vintage shopping, thrifting. Anyways, we're getting off topic. Those are my 2 addictions. I'm not doing no shopping anytime soon. But yeah, so it kind of just, it became this thing, and everybody around me was kind of interested, oh my God, are you going to do something else? So I'm like, okay, I'm so addicted to sugar. So addicted. And I always have been. I remember when I was younger, I would go with my mom to the grocery store specifically because I knew if I went with her, I could get her to get me something that I knew my dad didn't want in the house. And I would make her get me a box of fruit roll-ups. I would bring it in my room because she's like, okay, don't show your dad that I got this for you. Deal. Perfect. Now it's all for me. So I would put it in my room. I would eat that whole box in 2 days. So I've always been addicted to sugar. I've always liked cake. I just love it. Okay, so I guess I kind of half failed this one. I'll explain. If you know me, you know that my sugar addiction stems from chocolate milk. I am so addicted to chocolate milk. I started drinking chocolate milk, I don't know, since I came out of the womb, as long as I could remember. I must have had to start when I was 4 or 5 years old. Drink it every single day. It was part of my breakfast. It was first thing I drank in the morning, last thing I drank before I went to sleep for years. Even in college, I would drink it. Even as an adult, I would drink it right before bed or drink it with my breakfast. It was just so addicted to it. And so I'm like, okay, this has got to stop. This can't be good for me. And especially, like I said, I have PMDD. So the sugar, especially right before bed, is not good for me at all. But this is before I knew that I had PMDD. But I just felt, okay, this is not aligning with me. I cannot keep doing this. And I also had gotten my Oura ring. I believe I got my Oura ring when I did the year of no socials in 2022. And so I would drink my chocolate milk before bed, and I could see that it was spiking my blood sugar. It was affecting my heart rate. It was making me sweat in the middle of the night, only on the nights that I would drink it. So I'm like, oh my God, okay, I'll do no sugar. So this year I sought out to do no sugar. I think I got to 3 months with absolutely no sugar. I got a bunch of Hu chocolate to satiate me. And also, if you're satiated with protein, you won't crave sugar as much. So I got a bunch of beef sticks, made sure I was drinking tons of water, and I got Hu chocolates, which are cacao, and I think it's sweetened with monk fruit. So I would just find alternatives. I was able to make my chocolate milk differently. So it's just a quick recipe if you want that. I did cacao and agave, mix it with a little bit of water, and then fill it up with milk. Super good. So I was like, okay, I am chilling. I was 3 months in. My tummy was getting flat as heck. I noticed a huge difference with the inflammation in my body from cutting out sugar. Cold turkey, completely. And then, if you know me also, you know I love Post Malone. He's my bestie. I've been listening to him since 2015. And Mr. Post Malone came out with a collab with Oreos. I'm sorry, are you kidding me? So I went to Target. I guess you could say it's his fault. I went to Target and I bought 8 boxes. And I was like, this is so cool. This is like iconic. I'll give them away, keep like 3 for myself, but like I can't give them away and not know what they taste like. I need to try it. So I tried it, and then it was just supposed to be that, but then it wasn't. Like, I don't know what to tell you from there. Yeah, I've been eating sugar all year, but surprisingly, I still have not got the Nesquik. There has been a couple of times. My boyfriend also has a slight, not as bad as me, slight addiction to chocolate milk, not as bad. But there's been a couple of times where we go grocery shopping and he like puts it in the car. I'm like, baby, you have to take it out. Please take it out. It's been a thing where like, no, because if I have it, I know I'll drink it, and like that is the core of my sugar addiction. So I'm like, no, and I can drink it so fast and I can drink so much of it. It's just not good. So we have not got it. I still have not had it. It's December 30th right now, and I have not had the Nesquik. So did I fail? Yes, but the core value of the intention of the no sugar, I kind of completed, you could say. Anyways, all jokes aside, this really taught me about balance. All of the intentions with these are obviously very different, and I think that's really important to say and to just acknowledge, because I would say these are kind of serious topics and everybody's relationships are different with these things. So I want to put an emphasis on that. But with this one specifically, this one was with my health and my diet and what was contributing to the inflammation in my body. And like I said, I found out I got PMDD this year. So I've been learning to be in more of a flow with my cycle and with what fuels my body. I have to be very, very conscious. And this kind of goes with the alcohol thing, because I don't really drink still. There's almost a part of me that wishes that it wouldn't affect me so much, but there's a part of me that's like, well, it's not good for you anyways. So it's kind of good that it doesn't get along with you, because whatever, to hell with it. Those are the two that really affect my well-being and my health. Well, I guess you could say your well-being with all of them, but you know what I mean, with my health. So the no sugar 2025 really, really showed me that it's about balance. I think I can still enjoy sugar and not make it be my whole thing, but that, it takes obviously more discipline. I'm still honestly trying to navigate this one because I am addicted to it. I also don't think that cutting it out cold turkey makes sense for me, I guess. So I don't know. I don't know what that looks like for me. I don't know. I just actually last night I made healthy peanut butter cups. So maybe I'll kind of dabble in trying more recipes that satiate that craving for me. But yeah, I don't know what it looks like for me. Maybe it's, doing that during the week, and then on the weekend, I don't worry about it. I think that's what makes the most sense for me. But again, this is so personal to everyone. And yeah, personally for me, sugar just makes me inflamed. It breaks me out like nobody's business, makes me sleepy, and then like once I start, I can't stop. So yeah, I think for me, it just looks like having balance. I don't know, it's just like, okay, everybody's at a party and we're all eating cake. I want the cake. I'm sorry, I do. I know I can be super disciplined and be like, no cake, but like I want it, So I could say with all of these, really, it's, depending on your person, but I would say the balance is the most important part here, not dependencies, not any, dependency for emotional regulation, because that's a huge, with sugar especially, that's a huge thing. Not only is it the cravings, but it's also emotional regulation. Like when I'm feeling bad, I want some cookies and things like that, So it's also like being aware of that too. So I would say that the biggest takeaway from all of these is just having that balance, being able to be self-aware of your intentions and about your habits around emotional regulation, your comfortability with yourself. I'm really grateful that I've done all of these little experiments, even though, like I said, didn't really start intentionally. And I didn't really know what I was getting myself into when I started this, but I am so, so grateful that I did all of these. They taught me so much about myself, and I've grown so much because of them. I've really learned, honestly, so much about boundaries because I've created boundaries around my own self and my own habits that now I feel like I can gauge boundaries with others better, whether that's in work, friendships, even family. Yeah, I'm excited to experiment more. I will not be saying what I'll be doing just because I think that, I don't know, going through it is private. But yeah, I will be continuing this little annual ritual well, obviously we'll be talking about it on the podcast next year, so stick around. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for hearing me out. I hope this resonated with you. I hope you play around with maybe doing a weekend of no social media, maybe a little month of no social media, and whatever else. Take what resonated, leave what didn't. Thank you for holding space for me to be vulnerable. If you want to check me out on socials, it's Stephanie_Monge. Monge's Monge. My work Instagram's SM Complete. Yeah, I think that's about it. Like I said, take what resonates and leave the rest. Take the best and leave the rest. Love you guys so, so much. I'm wishing you the best 2026, and I cannot wait to talk soon. Bye.